Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has gotten off to an absolutely hot start this season, but he dropped a little bomb that was a little bit hotter than his start to the season. And we'll also touch on Trevor Richards and how he's been performing, and maybe Nate Pearson. Is it time for him to come up? All that and much more coming up next on Jay's Digest. What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. And I want to thank each and every one of you for the support that we've got in our post-game reaction video late last night. For those of you that didn't stay up, you missed a great game. But if you want to keep up to date, you can go watch that video, and we got you covered for everything that you need to know. But man, what a game yesterday, Nick, and some even more interesting news coming out of Jays land today.
Yeah, some very, very exciting news that we'll get into, along with, like you said, discussing some Trevor Richards talk that has been a topic of our live streams and a topic of Jay's land. So again, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It means a lot. And let's just get right into the first topic now, which is Vlad wants to stay in Toronto and be a Blue Jay for life. And he had an interview on Sportsnet with Hazel May, so this is legit. And this is basically exactly what he said, and I'll pop it up here. Quote, "I want to spend all my life here. Vladdy, I'm being a Blue Jay long term." Now, if you want to go watch the interview, you can. It's all over Twitter and things like that. Essentially, Hazel May asked, where do you see yourself as with the future with the Blue Jays? Do you want to stay here for a long period of time, sign a contract extension? And he said it as clear as he possibly could have, that he does want to be a Blue Jay for life and sign that extension. What are your thoughts on that before we get into, maybe the deeper topic about how much it'll cost and when we should do it?
Yeah, I definitely think that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. wants to stay here for a long time, and I think he should. He should be a Blue Jay for life, especially after you come out in the media and you say something of that magnitude. I would be signing you the next day if I was Rogers Incorporated, but I'm not. It's not my money, and maybe he wants to wait. He wants the season to play out and just up his value as much as he can, because as great as he was last season, it's not the Vladdy that we're going to be seeing for the next 5 to 10 years. That was a down year for Vladdy, and it was still an exceptional season compared to his peers. So he wants to re-up his value. He wants to show that he's one of the elite guys yet again, and then he's going to get paid the next offseason. I think that's my prediction.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, he's not going to cost the money that it was after his season last year, which is probably why both him and the Blue Jays agreed not to sign the extension. But I think it might be approaching the time to where he's only going to get more expensive, especially with his unbelievable start. His approach has changed a little bit back to his 2021 self. And this was, someone tweeted this, is insane that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has openly said he wants to stay in Toronto long term, and yet the Jays front office hasn't given him a contract extension, whatever the price is. And again, I just wanted to quickly touch on this, and like you just kind of touched on, it's obviously not as simple as just giving him all the money and letting him be. Do you have a figure in mind that you think he's going to cost? I'm thinking 350 to 400 million, which I don't know. And do you have a prediction as to when you think that they will sign him?
Yeah, it's not as simple as that tweet made it out to be. I wish it was that easy, because if it were, Alec Manoah would be locked up long term. So would Vladdy. So would Bo Bichette, and that's just not the way the business works. And these guys, they want to be comfortable in their situations. They're not strapped for cash. Like they come for money. Their dads were in the major leagues, so they want to see what the best opportunity for them to win is, and if they think it's in Toronto, then they'll have no problem re-upping and staying. But my prediction for Vladdy in terms of a dollar figure would have to be around the 300 million mark. I don't think he pushes to 400 just because he's a first baseman. Okay, so unfortunately for him, I mean that probably costs him out of maybe 50 to 100 million dollars, because the bat is just so good. It's elite. It's top 5 when he's going right. But first base, you could get not similar production, but you can get good production from a guy that's much more cost effective. So I think that's the way that front offices look at it. But Vladdy, I'd give him all the money that he wants. 10 plus years, 300 plus million, you name it. He earns it.
Yeah, I agree. And I could easily see him getting 350 just because someone might pay it, and the Blue Jays, I'm sure, are going to top any offer, and I think they're his number one priority, and it's also the number one priority for Rogers. So let us know in the comment section. I know this will stir up a lot of debate about the number figure and what you think, but at the end of the day, he says he wants to be a Blue Jay, and that's the main thing that matters. And let's move on now to the second topic, which we'll discuss for a couple minutes here. Should Richards go? And I have some stats for Trevor Richards with his tenure as a Blue Jay, with his baseball savant last year. And Peter, I'll let you go on a little bit of a tangent about this here now. And what have you seen from Trevor Trevor Richards, and specifically, do you think Nate Pearson or even someone like Jay Jackson deserves the spot over him, even though he's only just pitched a couple of games and a couple of innings for the Blue Jays this season when looking at his stats?
It hasn't been a couple of games. It's been a couple of seasons now, and I've seen enough out of Trevor Richards. I think he's got one of the best pitches in the organization. His changeup is elite. It has potential to be one of the best pitches in all of baseball as well. But he can't locate his fastball. It's 92, 93, maybe 94, 95 on a good day, and he can't spot it, So he's walking the ballpark, and when his changeup's not working and getting hit around, he's ineffective. So I don't know why they keep running out Trevor Richards day in, day out, thinking the result's going to be the same. It's not. I mean, we've seen it over the past 2 years. It hasn't gotten any better. He's a middling reliever at best, and I think his skill set is better suited for another team, a team that's not contending right now like the Blue Jays are. So bring up Nate Pearson. I wouldn't necessarily go the Jay Jackson route, but I want to see Pearson because it's his time now. He's 26 years old. He's not getting any younger. He's got an injury history. He's healthy right now. I think you got to maximize on that. So bring up Pearson, DFA Richards, and then you deal with the consequences later because I've seen enough. I've seen enough over the 2+ years, man.
Yeah, and a lot of Blue Jays fans agree, and I tend to agree. I want to see Nate Pearson up in the big leagues. Like you said, he's not a young prospect anymore, so for every day and every year that you don't use him, he's getting older. And looking at his stats here, of course, he came with the Blue Jays in 2021 and did pretty good. 32 games, 3.31 ERA. But like you said, that must be what the front office is holding on to because last year in 62 games, almost double the sample size, he had a very poor ERA. And then today, of course, he did not do great. And in that last full season for Trevor Richards, he had the only good thing he has is a chase, K rate, and whiff percentage. But when he does get hit, he gets hit extremely hard, and that is the issue. And we're at a point now to where we have so much depth in the bullpen, both in the minors and on the regular season team, that we don't need someone like him to really mop up the innings. And he's never going to get high leverage situations, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But you want to have any final thoughts on this before we move on?
And I don't want to rag on the guy either because he is a talented pitcher. And like I said, his changeup is elite. It's one of the best pitches on the team when he has everything working. And when he does locate his fastball, he's one of the best relievers on the team. It's that simple. If you're able to locate a secondary pitch and you have an elite pitch already, then you're a good reliever. That's what makes a good reliever. But what makes a consistent reliever is their ability to go in there appearance after appearance and just do the same thing. You know what you're getting out of them. And Richards at any time has shown the ability to just implode. He goes in there, sometimes he strikes out the side, sometimes he gives up 3 earned runs. You can't have that lack of clarity coming out of your bullpen. So why are these guys good year after year out of the bullpen? It's because they're consistent. You know what you're getting out of them. Maybe they won't be sub 2 ERAs, but you know that they're good for at least a 3 ERA and that they can help out your ball club every time they step on the field.
Yeah, I think it's time, and we'll see if that comes to fruition over the next few weeks here. But final quick topic before we get into our preview for tomorrow. It was an interesting question, Peter, that I wanted to ask you along with the comment section and everyone watching here. And just very quick, it doesn't have to be super long of an answer, but I saw it on Reddit and it said, who do you believe on the current Blue Jays 2023 roster will be with the team for the longest tenure? And this person's vote was Romano. I just wanted to see who your vote was, and it kind of relates to the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. question, as my vote is gonna be Vladdy. But do you have a different vote than me before we move on to the final?
I'm going to go with Alek Manoah, but I think him and Vladdy are going to be Blue Jays for the rest of their careers. I just think that's only fitting. And a note to that person, whoever picked Jordan Romano, you never go with a reliever when it comes to tenure. You just don't know. They're so volatile from year to year. Although I hope that Jordan Romano can keep his form for at least the next 3 to 4 seasons because he's been lights out so far.
Yeah, I agree. Again, shout out to this person for asking that question. I thought it would be interesting to see what you all think in the comments. Yeah, I'm going with Vladdy just because obviously the contract situation, I think they do extend him, but Manoah's right there with him, and he's younger, so maybe he I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe he lasts longer than Vlad.
He's not younger. He's been on the team for less time. So
correct.
The contract extension is further away, we should say.
And he's a pitcher, so maybe that'll hurt Manoah in the sense of maybe he won't be with the team as long, or maybe it'll help him because he has a very durable frame. But who knows? Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. And Peter, I guess the final thing to wrap it up here will be the game preview for tonight / the rest of the series. And I'll just let you take over from here. What are you looking forward to in tonight's game? We have Jose Barrios taking the hill, and it's going to be another late one. We might not have a video for you guys, but before we wrap up, any quick thoughts?
Well, I think it's been 2 games or 2 out of 3 games now that we've been saying, "I wanna see a bounce back. I wanna
Yeah.
see a bounce back," and we saw Alek Manoah bounce back, go 7 scoreless against the Royals, 1 hit ball. Yes, he got hit pretty hard, the command wasn't exactly there, the stuff wasn't there, but he battled, he got through it. Same thing with Chris Bassett, the stuff wasn't there last night, and he found a way to give you 6 innings. Doesn't matter how many pitches it took, he got you through 6 innings with a chance to win the ball game. And that's what I want to see out of Jose Barrios today. Have a little bit of fight because no one is as much as of a competitor as Jose Barrios is. And you know that it ticks him off when he's not pitching well. So it's him versus Tyler Anderson tonight. It's going to be a good matchup. Anderson, another tough lefty that the Jays are seeing. So hopefully they can come out on the winning side yet again and wrap up the series before that rubber match on Sunday.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what the lineup is, whether Jordan Leplow's back in there, and see how Jose Brios does. So that'll wrap up the video. Again, thank you for the support on the post games. It's been great. Obviously, it's a late road trip, so we're doing our best to get content at you. But thank you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks.